Mia stepped off the shimmering transport platform, her boots making soft clicks against the polished metal floor. She looked around and felt a shiver run down her spine. The academy towered above her like a silver mountain, glowing under the strange light of the twin suns. Students from dozens of planets moved around, their shapes strange and alien. Some had wings, some had multiple arms, some seemed to float without touching the ground. Mia swallowed hard. She was small, just a human, and felt almost invisible among the powerful, confident beings around her. Her heart raced. This was the moment she had dreamed about for years, entering the most advanced combat academy in the galaxy. But excitement quickly turned to fear as a cold, sharp voice cut through the chatter. "You're not special," said the alien instructor. Mia froze. The voice belonged to Zorth, a tall, lean figure with glowing eyes that seemed to look straight into her soul. His presence filled the hallway, commanding silence. Every student stopped and stared. Some smiled, some smirked, but no one dared speak. Mia's stomach tightened. "Not special," she thought. "I've worked so hard. I trained for this moment." But before she could answer, Zorth continued, his tone calm but cruel. "Here, talent means nothing. Strength without skill means nothing. Only those who can learn, adapt, and fight under pressure survive. You will see how small you really are." The words hit Mia like a cold wave. Her mind raced, trying to remember the drills, the training, the stories of legendary fighters. She had always been told she had potential, that she could make a difference. But here, in this alien academy, she felt like a tiny spark in a universe full of stars. Trying to steady herself, Mia followed the other students down a long corridor filled with holographic screens and glowing symbols. Each screen displayed a combat scenario, a tactical lesson, or a record of past champions. She saw students effortlessly lifting heavy weapons or controlling energy fields with a wave of their hands. Her own hands trembled slightly as she gripped the straps of her bag. Suddenly, an alarm blared. A small training robot had gone haywire, spinning and firing harmless but loud energy blasts. Students scattered, ducking and jumping, some laughing nervously. Mia felt her heart leap. Without thinking, she dove forward, grabbing the robot's main power core. Sparks flew, and the robot froze. She had stopped it before it could hit anyone. The hallway fell silent. All eyes turned to her. Some students whispered, surprised. Zorth's eyes, usually unreadable, flickered with interest. Mia's chest heaved. She hadn't expected to succeed. She had acted on instinct, and somehow it worked. But Zorth's voice cut through again, cold as ice. "Lucky. That's all. Luck is not skill. You will learn." Mia nodded, her hands still shaking. She felt a strange mix of fear and determination. She wanted to prove him wrong. She wanted to show that she was not just lucky, not just a small, weak human. She could be more. As she continued down the corridor, she noticed a shadow following her, a figure slightly taller than the others, moving silently. Mia blinked, and the figure was gone. She shook her head. Maybe it was her imagination. Maybe not. The academy was full of surprises. After all, her first class started in a massive dome that stretched higher than any building she had ever seen. The floor glowed faintly, with grids and symbols that seemed to respond to thought. Students gathered in pairs, practicing drills and techniques. Mia hesitated at the edge, watching aliens perform moves she couldn't even imagine. Some threw punches at shattered walls. Others manipulated energy to form shields and weapons in seconds. She felt a pang of doubt. How could she ever compete? Then Zorth appeared again, seemingly out of nowhere. He walked slowly, his gaze sweeping over every student. When he reached Mia, he stopped. "Do not think that mere courage will make you strong," he said. "You are small, fragile, insignificant. Remember that." Mia's heart pounded. Insignificant. Was that what she really was? She clenched her fists, feeling a surge of anger. How dare he? How dare anyone tell her she wasn't special? Before she could reply, a training drone floated down, projecting a new challenge. It was a combat simulation unlike anything she had seen before. Fast, unpredictable, and merciless. Mia's stomach twisted. But she stepped forward. One step, then another. She felt her muscles tense, her senses sharpen. Something inside her clicked. Maybe she wasn't special in the way Zora thought. Maybe she had to prove it in her own way. And maybe, just maybe, the rules could be rewritten by someone no one expected. The academy buzzed around her, students moving with speed and skill. Mia's heart still raced, but determination burned brighter than fear. This was just the beginning. The real challenge, the real test of what she could do, had only just started, and somewhere in the shadows, someone or something was watching. The twin suns reflected off the metal dome, glinting in Mia's eyes. She took a deep breath. Today, she would survive. Tomorrow, she might just change everything. The next morning, Mia awoke to the soft hum of the academy. The twin suns had barely risen, casting a pale glow over the polished towers. She rubbed her eyes and tried to calm her racing heart. Today was her first combat test, a real challenge designed to separate the strong from the weak. Every student knew that failing here could mean humiliation or worse. The training dome stretched before her, vast and shining, filled with students from countless worlds. Some were practicing silently, their movements precise, almost perfect. Others laughed as they tested weapons or energy fields. Mia felt a tight knot in her stomach. She was a human, small, weak compared to these aliens. How could she survive? Zora appeared, tall and imposing as ever, his glowing eyes scanning the crowd. "Listen carefully," he said, his voice echoing through the dome. "Today, you will face your first test. Combat is not just strength. It is speed, skill, strategy, and control. Fail, and you will learn how weak you truly are." Mia swallowed hard. She could feel the weight of every eye on her. Even the strongest-looking students seemed tense under Zora's gaze. The test began. Holographic opponents appeared in bursts of light, fast and unpredictable. Students jumped, dodged, and attacked with incredible precision. Mia watched, her pulse quickening. She took a deep breath and stepped onto the glowing floor. Her first opponent was a tall alien with 4 arms. Its movements were fast, precise, and brutal. Mia ducked a punch, rolled, and countered with a kick, but it barely fazed the creature. She stumbled backward, almost losing her balance. The other students glanced at her, some smirking. She felt her cheeks burn. Then instinct took over. Mia noticed a small opening in the holographic opponent's guard, a tiny hesitation between its 4th and 5th strike. Without thinking, she lunged, striking the opening. Sparks flew and the opponent froze as if stunned. Mia blinked. She had done it. Somehow, she had found a way. But the test was far from over. A new set of holographic fighters appeared, faster and stronger. Mia moved cautiously, remembering Zora's words. Strategy and control. She used her small size to her advantage, dodging attacks and creating openings. One by one, she managed to land precise strikes, surprising herself and a few students nearby. Zora observed silently, his expression unreadable. For the first time, Mia thought she saw something. Interest? Perhaps approval? She shook her head. No, she couldn't think about that. She had to survive the test. Midway through, a real challenge arrived. A massive energy ball appeared in the center of the dome, and holographic fighters lunged toward it, as if trying to capture it. Mia's opponent was quick, more aggressive than the previous ones. She ducked a strike, rolled, and felt her small hands graze the glowing energy ball. It pulsed, reacting to her touch, and for a moment, she felt a strange connection, like the ball recognized her. The other students gasped. No human had ever interacted with the energy balls like this before. Mia's confidence surged. She dodged, struck, and finally knocked her opponent out of the arena. The dome fell silent. Zora's gaze fell on her. "Interesting," he murmured. Then he walked away, leaving Mia confused. Interesting? That was all? She had survived. She had succeeded. But Zora's words didn't sound like praise. As the test ended, students gathered, sharing stories of their fights. Mia listened quietly, still shaking from the adrenaline. Some of the aliens whispered, casting glances at her. She had survived. She had performed well. And yet, She felt that something bigger awaited her. During the debrief, Zorth addressed the students. Strength is not measured by victories alone. Observe, learn, adapt. Only then will you grow. Some of you may think you are strong now, but strength is tested in ways you do not yet understand. Mia's mind raced. She had proven something, but she knew it wasn't enough. There was a fire in her chest, a determination to keep going, to discover what she truly could do. She realized that the academy was not just a place to train the body, it was a place to awaken something deeper. Later, as she walked back to her quarters, she noticed a shadow again. A tall figure followed her silently, keeping distance but always present. Mia's curiosity flared. Who was this? Friend or foe? She decided to remain cautious, but her heart beat faster. Not with fear this time, but with anticipation. That night, Mia lay awake, thinking about the day. She had survived the first test. She had surprised herself. And somewhere deep down, she knew this was only the beginning. Zortha's words, the strange glances from other students, and the mysterious figure following her, everything hinted at something bigger, something she couldn't yet understand. Mia closed her eyes. Tomorrow would bring new challenges. But tonight, she allowed herself a small spark of hope. She wasn't strong yet, not fully. But maybe, just maybe, she had the potential to be more than anyone expected. And somewhere in the academy, Zorth watched silently, a faint smirk on his face. The morning light spilled across the academy towers, painting the metal walls in gold and silver. Mia woke, her body sore from the first test, but her mind was alive with questions. The strange shadow she had seen yesterday lingered in her thoughts. Who was following her and why? She shook her head. Today, she had to focus on training. The academy's training hall was enormous, with floors that glowed faintly underfoot. Alien students were already practicing, their movements smooth, almost dance-like. Mia entered cautiously, feeling smaller than ever, yet determined. She could not let fear dominate her. Not anymore. Zortha's voice echoed through the hall. Today, you will learn control. He paused, his glowing eyes sweeping over students. Control is more important than strength. Do not underestimate it. Mia nodded silently. She tried to focus on her breathing, on her steps, on the rhythm of movement. She watched other students bend energy, lift massive weights, and perform feats she could hardly imagine. But she knew she had something she had felt during the first test, but couldn't explain. Her training partner for the day was an alien with sleek, silver skin and arms that shimmered with energy. They moved in circles, striking and dodging. Mia followed, but she noticed something unusual. When she moved closer to her partner, the air around her hands shimmered faintly, like invisible threads of light twisting in response to her movements. Mia froze. She had never noticed this before. Was it the energy ball yesterday? Her heart pounded. She tried to move again, and the shimmering grew stronger, almost like it responded to her intent. She dodged a punch, and the air around her swirled, creating a protective shield. Her partner stumbled backward, surprised. Zorth appeared silently behind her. Control is not just skill. It is knowing yourself. You may have a hidden talent, human, but power without control is dangerous. Mia swallowed hard. Hidden talent? Was he talking about her? She felt a mix of fear and excitement. She wanted to understand, to test this new ability, but she also didn't want anyone else to see. Secrets in this academy could make you a target. After training, Mia found a quiet corner in the hall. She closed her eyes and focused. Slowly, the shimmering air around her fingers appeared again. She extended her hand, and a small ball of light formed, hovering just above her palm. Her eyes widened. She had done it. She could manipulate energy in a way no one had taught her. Suddenly, she felt a presence. The shadow, the tall figure she had seen before stepped from behind a pillar. Mia jumped. "Do not be afraid," said a calm, melodic voice. The alien was tall, with dark blue skin and eyes that seemed to glow with knowledge. "I have been watching you. You are not ordinary human." Mia's mind raced. Who are you?" she asked. The alien smiled faintly. "Call me Karen. I see your gift. Few humans have it. Even among the strongest alien lineages, this ability is rare. You must learn to control it, or it will control you. Mia's pulse quickened. She had always known she was different, but she had never imagined this. She practiced again, creating a larger orb of energy. It hummed softly, and she could feel its power resonating with her heartbeat. Koren nodded approvingly. Good, he said. But remember, this power is only useful if your mind is calm. Control your fear, your anger, your doubt. Only then will it serve you. Mia nodded, determination building. She could feel the spark of something incredible inside her. She realized she was no longer just a human trying to survive among powerful aliens. She had a weapon, a talent that could change everything. But Koren's expression darkened. You must be careful. There are those in this academy who would see you destroyed if they knew. Jealousy and fear are common. Keep your gift hidden, at least until you are ready. Mia's mind whirled. Hidden? Survive? Prove herself? She clenched her fists. She had always dreamed of being strong, of being special. Now she knew she could be, but the path ahead was uncertain, dangerous, and thrilling. As she left the quiet hall, she noticed students moving with their usual ease. They had no idea that she possessed a hidden power, one that could rival their best skills. She smiled faintly. For the first time, Mia felt a surge of hope and excitement. But somewhere in the shadows, Zorath watched. His glowing eyes reflected something unreadable, curiosity, calculation, and perhaps even challenge. He knew Mia had potential, though he would never say it aloud. Mia clenched her fists and whispered to herself, I'll learn to control it. I'll prove that I'm not special. I'm more than anyone expects. The twin suns gleamed through the tall windows of the academy. Light danced across Mia's face as she walked forward, ready to embrace her hidden power, unaware of the tests, battles, and mysteries that lay ahead. The real journey had just begun. The day of the academy's great challenge arrived. The training dome, now transformed into a colossal arena, buzzed with anticipation. Students from all corners of the galaxy gathered, their excitement palpable. The walls shimmered with energy fields, and holographic targets floated midair, ready to test every skill imaginable. Mia stood at the edge of the arena, her small frame almost swallowed by the vast space. Her muscles were tense, her heart racing. She glanced around at the alien students, tall, powerful, confident. Some grinned, clearly expecting an easy victory over the human. Her palms were sweaty, but she clenched them, focusing on the lessons from Koren. Control, patience, strategy. Zorath's voice boomed across the arena. This challenge will reveal your true potential. Strength alone will not win. Strategy, skill, and control will determine who survives. Begin. The first round started with rapid holographic opponents appearing everywhere. Students dashed, struck, dodged, and countered with breathtaking precision. Mia's first opponent was a silver-scaled alien twice her size. It swung its long arms in lightning-fast arcs, forcing Mia to duck and roll to avoid being crushed. She took a deep breath and focused. The shimmering energy she had discovered the day before flickered faintly around her fingers. Her instincts guided her. She sidestepped an attack and extended her hand. The air rippled, forming a faint barrier that deflected her opponent's strike. The other students gasped. A human? Using energy manipulation? Mia's confidence surged. She moved with agility, using her size and skill to her advantage, landing precise strikes where her opponent's guard faltered. As the round progressed, the challenges grew tougher. Holographic beasts lunged at her with blinding speed. Energy fields shifted unpredictably. Every time she felt panic rising, she closed her eyes for a split second, recalling Koren's words. Control your fear. Control your power. She extended her hands, and the energy around her responded, forming barriers, striking back, and confusing her opponents. But it wasn't just skill that mattered. Jealousy and rivalry became apparent. One of the taller alien students, a four-armed fighter named Varn, tried to corner her, mocking her human weakness. Step aside, tiny human, he sneered. This isn't a place for pests. Mia's jaw tightened. Anger surged, but she remembered Koren's warning. Power without control is dangerous. She did not lash out blindly. Instead, she lured Varn into a trap. Using her agility, she dodged his strikes, guided him toward a shifting holographic wall, and with precise pulse of her energy, she redirected him into the barrier. He stumbled, stunned. The arena erupted with whispers. The small human had outsmarted a veteran alien fighter. Even Zortha's eyes flickered with interest. Then came the final test of the round. A massive energy sphere hovered in the center, radiating pulses that threatened to knock everyone off balance. Mia's instinct screamed at her to avoid it, but she remembered her success with the energy ball before. Carefully, she approached, feeling the sphere respond to her presence. She extended her hands, focusing all her control and intent. The sphere slowed, its pulses bending around her, as if recognizing her command. Other students gasped in awe. Mia had tamed it. She guided it strategically, using it to block incoming attacks and clear obstacles. She moved through the arena with surprising grace and confidence. Finally, the challenge ended. Exhausted, Mia stood in the middle of the arena, panting, her clothes scuffed and glowing faintly with residual energy. Zorth walked toward her, his usual unreadable expression in place. "Interesting," he said, his voice low. "You may be small human, but you are not helpless. Your control, strategy, and instinct, they set you apart. Do not grow arrogant. The real tests are only beginning." Mia felt a mix of relief and pride, but also tension. She had survived. She had impressed some, and she had revealed a fraction of her hidden power. But she knew the academy was not done with her. Bigger challenges awaited. As she left the arena, she noticed Karen waiting in the shadows. "Well done," he said quietly. "But remember, today you only scratched the surface. Others will notice your ability, and not all will welcome it. You must grow stronger, faster, smarter, and you must remain cautious." Mia nodded. She understood. Strength alone would not be enough. She had to be clever, controlled, and always aware. The path ahead was dangerous, but exhilarating. That night, Mia sat in her quarters, replaying the events of the day. She had proven herself in the first great challenge, discovered the true potential of her secret ability, and learned that even small humans could defy expectations. But the shadow of Zortha's warning lingered. The real tests were coming. Somewhere in the academy, unknown eyes watched. Allies, rivals, and perhaps even enemies waited for their chance to challenge her. Mia's journey had just begun, and the thrill of discovery and the fear of danger danced together in her heart. She clenched her fists. Tomorrow would be another challenge, another battle, another step toward proving she was more than Zortha's words, not special. And deep inside, she knew that the rules of the academy, of the universe itself, were about to be rewritten by someone no one expected. The arena was empty now, but its walls still hummed with residual energy from the day's challenges. Mia walked cautiously, feeling the exhaustion in her muscles and the lingering adrenaline in her veins. She knew this was no ordinary training day. Zortha's gaze had followed her from the sidelines, and now he wanted her alone. A door at the far end of the arena opened silently. Zorth stepped inside, his tall figure casting a long shadow across the floor. His eyes glowed faintly, and his presence made the air seem heavier. "You have done well today," he said, his voice calm but edged with steel. "But you are still small, not special." Mia stopped, her fists clenching. "I've survived every challenge. I've proven I can fight." "Why do you keep saying I'm not special?" she demanded, her voice firm but slightly shaking. Zortha's lips curved into a faint, almost imperceptible smile. "Because strength alone does not make one special. Many are strong. Few are extraordinary. Today you have potential, but potential is meaningless without control, courage, and wisdom." He stepped forward, and the arena's floor shimmered under his touch. Holographic projections sprang to life around them. Images of past champions, some triumphant, others defeated. The air thickened with tension. "You will now face me," Zora said. "Not to defeat me, yet, but to test what you have truly learned." Mia's pulse quickened. She had trained. She had survived. She had discovered her secret power. But she had never faced Zorth directly. He moved with a fluid grace, every gesture precise and calculated. His presence alone was a challenge. The fight began. Zorah struck first, a powerful punch aimed at Mia's midsection. She ducked, narrowly avoiding the blow, and rolled to the side. Her small hands shimmered with her hidden energy, forming a faint barrier just in time to deflect another strike. Zorah's eyes flickered. Impressive reflexes. But can you anticipate the unexpected? He unleashed a flurry of attacks. Blinding speed, unpredictable angles, powerful energy blasts. Mia dodged, parried, and struck back where she could. Every strike she landed seemed to barely scratch him, yet every movement required all her focus and skill. Suddenly, Zorah lunged, faster than she could react. Mia's mind raced. In a split second, she remembered the lessons Karen had taught her. Control, patience, and strategy. She didn't fight blindly. Instead, she waited for the moment he overextended. Then it came. Zorah swung with all his strength, expecting her to block or dodge. But Mia pivoted, using her small size and speed. She extended her hand, and her energy flared, a pulse of light striking Zorah's shoulder, just enough to stagger him. The arena seemed to hold its breath. No human had ever landed a hit like that. Zorah's eyes widened slightly, but his expression remained composed. "Interesting," he murmured. "You are learning faster than I anticipated." Mia's heart raced. She could feel the power inside her, stronger now, resonating with her courage. She advanced carefully, striking with precision, every movement calculated. Zorah blocked, countered, and attacked again, pushing her to the limit. "You have potential," Zorah said mid-fight, his voice calm but intense. "But potential alone does not make you special." Mia's anger flared, not at him, but the word itself. Special. She refused to accept that she was ordinary. She dug deep, calling on every lesson, every instinct, every ounce of energy she could muster. Her hidden power flared brighter, her movements sharper, faster, more unpredictable. Then, in a moment of pure instinct, Mia struck. Her punch, enhanced by her energy control, hit Zorah squarely in the chest. The impact resonated through the arena. Sparks of energy danced in the air. For a brief moment, the entire dome seemed to pause. Zorah stumbled back, slightly off balance. Mia froze, waiting, heart pounding. He looked at her, his glowing eyes wide, unreadable, and for the first time, a faint smile crossed his face. "You have rewritten the rules," he said softly. "You are special." Mia's chest heaved with exhaustion and exhilaration. She had faced the impossible, survived, and proven herself. Not just to the Academy, not just to Zorah, but to herself. As Zorah stepped back, the holographic projections faded, leaving the two alone in the quiet arena. Mia lowered her hands, the glow fading, but her confidence burning brighter than ever. She had survived the confrontation. She had learned that her strength, courage, and control were more powerful than anyone had imagined. And somewhere deep in her mind, a small voice whispered, this was only the beginning. The universe was vast, dangerous, and full of challenges, and she was ready. The twin suns gleamed through the arena's high windows, casting long shadows. Mia's journey had crossed a critical threshold. She was no longer just a small human among giants. She was someone who could change the rules. And the Academy, the galaxy, and even Zorah himself would have to see her differently from now on. The arena was quiet now, bathed in the soft light of the twin suns. Mia stood alone for a moment, her chest heaving, energy slowly settling around her hands. She had faced Zorah, landed a blow no one expected, and heard the words she had longed to hear. "You are special." But there was no time to celebrate. Zorah's presence returned, this time calmer, yet heavier. He walked slowly toward her, his glowing eyes fixed. "You have done well," he said, his voice steady. "But there is more you need to understand." Mia straightened, wiping sweat from her brow. "More? I faced the impossible. I survived. I proved myself. What more is there?" Zorah paused, letting the words hang in the air. "It is not just about fighting skill or control. You, Mia, carry a lineage rare among humans. Your ancestors possessed abilities we thought extinct, hidden potential, power that until now, no human has displayed in this academy. Mia blinked. Her mind whirled. Lineage? Ancestors? She had always felt different, but she had never imagined this. I don't understand, she stammered. You are part of a rare bloodline, Zora continued. One that can manipulate energy, adapt instinctively, and overcome limits that even experienced aliens struggle with. That is why you were tested, why I push you to extremes. The Academy does not nurture ordinary humans. But you're not ordinary. Mia's heart raced. She had always wondered why she felt so different, why she sometimes reacted faster or thought more strategically. Now, the pieces began to fall into place. She was not weak. She was chosen in a way she had never imagined. Before she could respond, a commotion erupted outside the arena. Alarms blared and holographic screens flickered with urgent messages. A dangerous alien faction, previously unknown, had approached the Academy's sector. Their ships shimmered in the twin suns' light, weapons armed and scanning for targets. Zortha's expression hardened. This is not a drill. The Academy and its students are under threat. Many of you may not survive if unprepared, but you may be the key. Mia felt a chill run down her spine. She had just begun to understand her own strength, and now an interstellar threat loomed, far beyond her first tests or the arena challenges. Her mind raced. Could she really help protect everyone? Could her hidden power, her rare lineage, be enough? Karen appeared from the shadows, silent as ever. You've come far, Mia. But now the real test begins. Not just strength, but judgment, courage, and leadership. You must step forward, or countless lives could be at risk. Mia's pulse quickened. She had survived challenges, revealed her secret power, and faced Zorth. But this was different. This was no simulation. Lives, not points or victories, were at stake. She clenched her fists. The energy around her fingers shimmered faintly, responding to her resolve. She could feel the power inside her, stronger now, as if her lineage itself was awakening. The realization struck her. She was no longer just a student trying to survive. She was someone who could make a difference. Someone who could rewrite the outcome of this attack. Zora stepped closer, his voice softer but firm. I have pushed you, challenged you, and made you doubt yourself. But all of this was preparation. The galaxy does not care about human limitations. It only respects results. And now it will respect you if you act wisely. Mia nodded, determination flashing in her eyes. Fear still lingered, but it was now accompanied by focus and courage. She was not just fighting for herself anymore. She was fighting for everyone in the Academy, and possibly the entire sector. Karen placed a hand on her shoulder. You are ready, Mia. But remember, your strength alone will not win. Strategy, timing, and control, these will define the outcome. Trust yourself. Mia's eyes swept across the arena, the glowing floor reflecting her resolve. She took a deep breath, feeling the power within her pulse like a heartbeat in sync with her own. This was her moment, not just to survive, but to lead, to rise, and to prove that her hidden potential was more than a gift. It was a responsibility. And somewhere in the shadows, Zortha's eyes glimmered with faint approval. For the first time, he allowed himself to step back, letting Mia stand at the edge of destiny. The twin suns blazed overhead as Mia looked toward the distant horizon. Enemy ships approached, their weapons gleaming. Her journey had just entered a new phase, one filled with danger, strategy, and courage. Mia clenched her fists, energy humming faintly around her. I'll protect the Academy. I'll face them. And I'll show that humans can be extraordinary, she whispered. The arena echoed with silence. The revelation was clear. She was special, not by chance, not by luck, but because of who she was and what she could become. The real battle was about to begin. The Academy's towers trembled as alarms blared. Outside, enemy ships shimmered against the twin suns, their weapons glowing ominously. The students and instructors scrambled to their positions, preparing for an attack unlike anything they had faced before. Mia stood at the center of the arena, her chest heaving, energy humming faintly around her hands. She could feel her lineage awakening, her power responding to the imminent danger. Karen appeared beside her. Mia, this is it. your first real battle. The Academy relies on you, but more importantly, your own instincts will guide you. Trust yourself. Mia nodded. Fear lingered, but determination burned brighter. Today, she was not just a student. She was someone capable of rewriting the outcome, of setting new rules in motion. The enemy ships descended swiftly. Their weapons discharged waves of energy, tearing through the Academy's outer defenses. Students scattered, but Mia focused, her eyes sharp. She extended her hands, forming barriers of shimmering light that absorbed the blast, giving others time to reposition. Zorth watched from above, his expression unreadable. Control, strategy, adapt. Now is when it truly matters. Mia took a deep breath and activated her hidden ability fully. Energy pulsed from her hands, spreading into the arena, forming fields that twisted around the attackers. She manipulated their attacks, redirecting energy blasts, causing enemy ships to collide with each other. Sparks flew, metal twisted, and the battlefield seemed to obey her instincts. Her fellow students gasped. Never had they seen a human move with such power and precision. Small and underestimated, she was now the center of defense, guiding and protecting the Academy with skill and courage. Varn, the four-armed alien who had mocked her before, shouted in surprise. How is she doing that? Karen's voice guided her. Focus, Mia. Use the energy, but do not overextend. They will adapt quickly. Mia nodded, pivoting, dodging, and striking simultaneously. She unleashed pulses of energy that immobilized enemy drones, redirected incoming blasts, and created protective shields for her friends. Her movements were a dance of precision and intuition, blending her human instincts with a rare lineage within her. The largest enemy ship descended, firing a massive energy wave toward the Academy. Panic rippled through the students. Mia's heart raced. This was the moment she had prepared for, though she hadn't known it. She extended her hands fully, drawing on every ounce of her hidden power. Energy spiraled outward, colliding with the wave. Light flared, energy crackled, and for a heartbeat, time seemed suspended. Then the wave shattered, dissipating harmlessly. The enemy faltered, their strategy broken. Mia's energy pulse sent them scattering, forcing retreat. The Academy students cheered, inspired by the courage and skill of the small human who had rewritten the battlefield. Zorth descended, landing beside her. His eyes glowed faintly, but this time there was a hint of pride. You have done what few could. You were underestimated. Yet you turned the tide. Today, the rules have been rewritten. Mia exhaled, her chest heaving. She had faced impossible odds, discovered the true potential of her lineage, and used it to protect everyone. She looked around at her fellow students, some stunned, some inspired, and realized something important. Being special wasn't just about strength. It was about courage, creativity, and heart. Karen stepped forward, smiling faintly. Remember this, Mia. Power is not about domination. It is about adaptation, protection, and understanding. You have shown all of these qualities. Mia's gaze returned to the distant horizon. Though the enemy's ships were gone, she knew this was only the beginning. The galaxy was vast, filled with challenges, dangers, and mysteries. But she had proven to herself that she could face them. Zortha's voice echoed softly. You have changed the rules, human. You have changed what others will expect. You are not just special, you are extraordinary. A small smile appeared on Mia's face. She had survived, learned, and grown. The Academy, the galaxy, and even Zorth himself had witnessed a new force emerging. One small human who dared arise to learn and to fight. As the twin suns set, casting long golden and silver shadows over the Academy towers, Mia raised her hand, energy flickering gently. She was ready for whatever came next. New challenges, new battles, and new discoveries awaited her. But she had already proven one truth. The rules could be rewritten, and even the smallest spark could ignite a revolution. The Academy buzzed with life around her, and for the first time, Mia felt truly at home. She was no longer the underdog. She was a force to be reckoned with. And somewhere in the galaxy, the legend of the human who changed the rules had just begun.